The zombie twist continues in the Big Brother 25 game, giving us a dead week where nothing is happening outside of social gaming, but a lot of social gaming has gone on over the past 2 days. And let's talk about some of it tonight. And we are going to start with everyone's not so favorite showmance, unless you're a hardcore stan, America and Cory. And this all started 2 nights ago when these two decided to take a shower together, basically. In the shower together, the public shower, not the HOH shower. And I just thought that was quite bold of them to just easily grow their target yet again. And this is something these two continue to do. They know they have been seen as a showmance, and they continue to be seen more and more as a showmance and as a two. And that is just something that will grow your target. And Cory can say, when he's talking to the cams, that he is more serious about this game than he is the showmance, and he doesn't care about America flirting with Cam or whatever. And maybe he doesn't, but I don't think he cares about the game as much as he cares about the showmance. And that is why he has been handcuffed to America for so many weeks now. And doing stuff like that in the shower was just dumb. Now, the next day, the two woke up, and they did start gaming pretty hard. This was yesterday, trying to once again help their position, going about the entire house. And I thought that they were doing a pretty good job. They got in good with Cirie, both of them, although I think that was more of a positive on Cirie's side. We have seen Cirie's mist re-enter the game. She had lost it for a few weeks after she was exposed so hard for all these alliances and a lot of Jared kind of making too many mistakes, which also blew back onto her. Even America and Cory, knowing Cirie was misting them, still wanting to work with Cirie for what looks like the foreseeable future. Now, we'll get back to Cirie, because America and Cory have made... well, they've made a lot of major mistakes, in my opinion. But over the past 2 days, one of the biggest major mistakes is that Felicia has wanted to make a Final Four with the two of them. Between Felicia, Mimi, Cory, America. And Mimi's not really on board with that, in my opinion. But Felicia seems pretty gung-ho about it. And the problem with that, though, is the problem that has just been hurting everyone's game this season, and that is when these people talk too much. And Cory already went to Matt and Jag to tell those two about Felicia and Mimi wanting to make a Final Four with them. And a day later, Cory and America both reiterated it to Jag and Matt. See, the problem with this, though, is that last night, Cory came to the conclusion that they shouldn't tell Jag and Matt about the four alliance with Felicia and Mimi anymore. But it's too late. Cory already did it twice, America did it once, and Matt and Jag are already starting to feel some type of way about America and Cory. And that's where Blue's game comes in. Blue's done a pretty good job of throwing America and Cory under the bus to Matt and Jag. And as much as Jag has that Final 3 with Cory and America, because Jag is dumb at this game, and you never want to go to a Final 3 with a showmance. But Jag's been terrible at this game since the very beginning, and has not gotten any better, not even slightly. But Blue's gotten through to Matt to make him really turn against Cory and America. It didn't help that when Cory was having a conversation with Felicia, Cory hit his mouth, and it made Matt feel like he's keeping things from him because Matt already has hearing problems, and just makes Cory look sketchy to Matt. And so you take all of these things, the showering together, the fact that Cam's coming after Cory and working with Matt and Jag to do that, and nobody's told them about that, and the fact that America, because of her flirting with Cam, trusts Cam and doesn't think Cam's coming after Cory. And then Cory talking too much about the Final Four that Felicia and Mimi made with them. That's traveled throughout almost the entire house now. Almost the entire house now knows about that alleged Final Four, and I don't think Felicia will be too happy about that. So Cory and America have just grown their target a ton especially with Matt and kind of Jag both turning on them. They already turned on them with the whole Cam stuff, working with Cam if he is to return to the game, and Cam wants Cory out. And now Matt has been trying to get closer to Cirie again. But more so, I feel like Cory has done too much, and more importantly, talked too much, and now he is quite a big target going forward. Let's get back to Cirie, though, and Cirie's mist. Like I said, it's worked on Cory and America, even though they know they're getting misted, and yet they still want to work with Cirie. Cirie and Matt reconnecting. Mimi already doesn't want to turn on Cirie quite yet. Felicia and Cirie have worked their problems out after their fight on the episode. But along with Cirie's game, I do enjoy Blue's game. Like I already talked about, Blue, for the past couple of weeks, really 3, has been trying to position herself and take different strategies and just to position herself. And I really like that from her. American Cory stans want to pretend that Blue's still not playing the game, but the fact is she's playing the game, and she's playing it better than those two, at least over this past week, to say the least. I think Blue's playing well. No, Blue is not jealous of America like America stans want us to believe. Why would Blue be jealous of America? And she's certainly not jealous of America's relationship with Cory, because he eats his boogers, he's a bad kisser, and America's already brought that around the whole house. So, the stans want to say Blue's jealous of America. That's just not the case. The fact is Blue is outplaying America this week, positioning herself well, because Blue is pretty good at making relationships throughout the house. And Blue can get on my nerves with her weird fake personality a lot of the time, but it's working right now as a social game, and I think she deserves credit for that. She, like I said, I think in the last video, Blue started this game not knowing the game at all because she's a recruit, but I enjoy when a recruit learns the game as the game goes along. And it took Blue a very long time to learn this game and even start playing the game, but once she started playing after the first month, I think she's been playing well. Matt's trying to position himself again, I think in the middle. I don't think it's going to work quite yet, because yeah, Cory and America's targets have grown, but so have Matt and Jag's. A lot of people see them as comp threats now, and I think that's definitely growing their target. I think Jag would probably be targeted before Matt, but if they're smart, they would target Matt before Jag. Matt, he showed too much cards last week. He was in a good spot before showing those cards, and right now, he's just not as in a good position. Now, Cam and Jared, we're going to see who gets back into the game between those two. I think Cam has made some mistakes the last couple of days. I think Cory has come to the realization that Cam needs to go if he comes back in. I think Cory's gut is telling him that Cam is coming after him, even if America says otherwise, because she's falling for Cam's shtick, of course. But I think Cory is going with his gut on that, which is smart of Cory to do. If Jared gets back in the game, I think he likely just hurts Cirie's game, because let's just be real here with Jared, because I'm going to do the whole 2 things can be true like I've been doing all season. Yes, Jared is the only black male in the game this year, and that is a disadvantage because he doesn't have like-minded individuals in the game with him. And you see from the fan base, that makes him get a whole lot more shit than anybody else, even though a lot of people have said and done some bad things this season. But he has his mother in the house, and it can be an advantage if used right. But Jared has fumbled that a lot, and that is because Jared talks too much like a lot of players in this game. He talks too much, and he does too much, and because Cirie is always trying to help him and clean up his messes, it hurts her game as well. But the biggest thing that hurts Cirie's game, thanks to Jared's bad gameplay, is that as an ally, he keeps way too much information away from the person who should be his number one and who should be easy to be his best ally. But but he fumbles that ball. The fact that he still will not admit to his mother that Blue knows the truth because of him, because I guess he thinks that she would be mad at him, and because I think deep down he knows it was probably the wrong thing to do, but he can right a wrong if he would just tell her the truth, but he refuses to do that. And I think it's just a huge immaturity on his part, but on a game level, it's bad gameplay. Jared has done a lot of bad gameplay this season, and I think if he comes back to the game, I have a hard time seeing him do better, but I guess we'll find out if he gets back into the game. I think, as it stands right now, if Jared gets back in, he might be able to lessen his target for a little longer than Cam, whereas I feel like Cam's social game is awful. Where Jared talks too much and is a bad person to be aligned with because of his funky gameplay and the fact that he talks too much. For Cam, his social game is bad because who would really want to work with him long term? Because he is such a physical threat in competition wise, but on a social level, he's not good at like making those kind of connections. We've seen that from the beginning, where other than with Red, but even with Red, people were easily able to turn them against each other. And I think that it comes down to a lot that Cam is just not good at making those relationships. Cam definitely struggles with that mightily. And I don't see him fixing that quickly if he gets back into the game, because I think people are already seeing his sketchy side and his weird side. Let's quickly touch on Bowie real quick before we end this video. That I know I've had some comments about Bowie's game, especially from Lisa Love Ministry, that she is finally having a social game and doing well with it. I made a comment that I find it laughable for a player to start a social game more than halfway through the season. I think it's not commendable at all. But Bowie's not in a bad spot. But to me, it's not that her social game is suddenly good. It's that because Bowie has chosen to actively not play this game for the most part, it's easy for her to be seen in a good position because everyone else, maybe they do play too hard, but they are playing. And I just don't commend that for Bowie or about Bowie. I see this in games. I do games on this channel sometimes. And sometimes some players just actively don't play. But yeah, they get far in the game because they're not really playing hard. They're not growing their target. And I guess that's good, but it's just, I think it's a waste of time. So yeah, Bowie's going to get far because she doesn't play the game. She is a coaster, a bona fide coaster. She's not a floater. She does not aggressively make her own decision of where she goes in this game. She lets people make those decisions for her, but she's not actively making those decisions. She's not actively playing the game to get dragged in the right direction. She just kind of goes wherever the wind blows, and she has stumbled into a good position, yes, because she doesn't have a big target like a lot of players in this game, but I'm sorry, I just do not commend her game at all. I think if she were to win, it would be a joke and a waste of time for all of us because she has not played the game. Yeah, she has a social game a little bit now, but we are more than halfway through the season, and it's the first time I could actually say that she has a decent social game. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't like Bowie because it's a waste of my time. But that's where everything stands right now with this week. I think the biggest issue is Cory and America hurting their own games, where Matt has realized that Cory and America were just using them, and Matt came to that conclusion a little late because he showed his cards last week, but better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, this has been definitely a reset week, and I think Surrey and Blue have done the best job this week. Thus far, there are still 2 more days before we see who gets back in the game and this kind of dud of a twist ends.